up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to, again, the Joint Effort Podcast. We're back here again. It's your boy, Jerry Juice. We also got Ganja Parasite, North Carolina Hemp Reviews is back. We got Dad. CJ will do it. Told us he's awake this time, so any moment now we might have him too. That would be a full cast, and that's quite the vibe.
Dude, I took that diamond bar, but now I'm feeling absolutely schlumped.
Well, that's nothing but making a touch thing. Do it. Like, let's do it. Do it. Hell yeah. I only got the, I don't know. I gotta grow another 6 people to do it. We are all pretty stoned, so, trying to stay on topic.
What is up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to, again, the Joint Effort Podcast. We're back here again. It's your boy, Jerry Juice. We also got Ganja Parasite, North Carolina Hemp Reviews is back. We got Dad. CJ will do it. Told us he's awake this time, so any moment now we might have him too. That would be a full cast, and that's quite the vibe.
Dude, I took that diamond bar, but now I'm feeling absolutely schlumped.
Well, that's nothing but making a touch thing. Do it. Like, let's do it. Do it. Hell yeah. I only got the, I don't know. I gotta grow another 6 people to do it. We are all pretty stoned, so, trying to stay on topic.
up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to, again, the Joint Effort Podcast. We're back here again. It's your boy Jerry Juice. We also got Ganja Bear Site, North Carolina Hemp Reviews is back. We got Dad. CJ will do it. Told us he's awake this time, so any moment now we might have him too. That would be a full cast, and that's quite the vibe.
Dude, I took that diamond, but now I'm feeling absolutely swamped.
Well, that's nothing but magnetized. Do it. Like, let's do it. Do it. Hell yeah. I only got the, I don't know. I gotta grow another 6 people to do it.
Morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. You've made it to the Wake and Bake with the joint effort. We got Ganja Bear, Dad, and myself, Jerry Juice Smokes here again. And unlike last week, which was very boring as far as cannabis news goes, this week, to call it boring would be quite the understatement. We basically wanted to go live on Wednesday and try to get on all this stuff while it was really going down, but newborn baby in my house. I'm very surprised I'm here today.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of
Just
a big
kind
deal.
of a big deal.
Yeah, it overshadows all the importance in the cannabis industry for me personally. But we're here. We made it back, guys. Y'all smoking on anything special?
I ain't smoking on nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, I'm smoking on some lemon punch I got
Hero.
from Puro Canagars. Delicious. I have been loving their flower. I got that and the gelato. Delicious. Love the packaging and very impressed.
Yeah, the packaging is kind of cool for a Mylar
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah, it looks almost like a backpack. They have some others. I don't have it anymore. It's actually in my office, but it looks like a little briefcase. It was the Oreos, and they have some that look like backpacks, which are they're cool.
Okay.
Delicious too. Delicious.
Okay. I see. You can't go wrong. They seem like that
No.
top shelf brand.
Yes.
What I like about it so far is every time I've seen somebody post something with that bag, what's on the interior, the inside, has yet to disappoint, which is
Yes.
good.
Yes. This too, I was very impressed. I'm a big fan of those super lemony strains, and they can be hard to find nowadays. And this lemon punch, I was impressed. Whether it's smoking it or vaping it, the lemon that comes through it's like that classic, almost like lemon pine sol, lemon candy. It's so good, and I'm a sucker for those. So I've been very impressed with both.
Okay.
And these are depending on your subjective take on price, this might be very expensive or very cheap, but these were $30 an eighth, which, yes, can you find cheaper flour? Of course you can, absolutely. But I am preconditioned to, I always judge price based off of old dispensary days just because that's what I was used to. So I'm always going off like $10 a gram, 35 an eighth, 70 a quad, 140 a half O. So this for me wasn't expensive. And given the quality, I would totally pay $30 an eighth for that.
It's
Absolutely.
one of those things, though. Like, if you in those legal states, so many people in those legal states, it's not worth it. I'm just going to go down to the dispensary down the road. When you're comparing your dispensary to the $50, the $45, the $60 ounces that some people smoking on online and sending a million pictures, and those people have all the right to be hyped up over their discount bud, bro. But it's discount bud, bro. Like, you
Right.
aren't buying discount bud from your dispensary yet. Worse, you're probably buying mid-top shelf. This is AA tier bud that you're getting at minimum from your dispensary. There is stuff that is not close to that on T.
Oh, yeah.
I think Puro right there. Pure selects a better dispensary, crisp. Some companies who are taking this top shelf route, you're gonna get at least AA bud from them too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm smoking on a little bit of hash, a little bit of
Homemade pressed
Ooh.
hash. It's been curing now for like 3 months, so it should have
Let's
a little
go.
nice rich flavor to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, thought I grabbed a jar of keef I had upstairs. I accidentally grabbed the jar of hash. So slightly different vibe than I assumed I would be going on. Ganja Bear's looking there like, yeah, I hate you too. I don't got them all packed. I hate both of you.
Just chill, just chill.
It's hilarious. Yeah, we got a lot to
Mine
talk
won't.
about today, though. Crazy week in the cannabis world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean,
We talk about part of it all the time, but something actually happened. Crazy.
yeah. What are they gonna do with it? What is it gonna mean? Well, they finally did something, but it might not be what it seems. You know, in 2 weeks it could all be different again. And yeah, I'm gonna take this rip before we dive too far in because. Yeah, it's like we thought we had our story set on Wednesday. I guess maybe it's good it's Sunday because since then, and it does come down to politics, so we'll try not to get too political. But one party's just not on the same page. I mean, neither of the parties are on the same page, but the party that we thought was on the same page is also not on the same page.
Nope. That's a no-go.
A no-go?
I got something stuck in the top of the cart, bruh. Big shout out, peace out, Malays, for the little granddaddy purple card, though. That big, hey, bro, it been getting me through the day. Smacking.
Bro, is for distillate cards, and I mean, at the end of the day, there's two types of THCA cards we brought up before. There's people are finally bringing us those rosins, and they're all doing it in some slightly different ways, so that's a whole different debate. But beyond that, diamond distillate. First of all, I'm not sure why there are still YouTubers and content creators and educators out there saying you can't have a THCA card over 0.03. You can't have a THCA card at the percentages y'all saying. And then they push their 90% HHC cart. Like, no, that company just doesn't want to do what they have to do to get it done. Because you can buy THCA distillate, and it's not solid. Believe it or not, it's liquid, guys.
Yes.
And where does this misconception come from? You can put a liquid in a cart.
Yes.
And then,
Absolutely.
so there's a lot of THCA carts out there. Something about his terpenes, though. Like, my point was going to be all of them are very, very similar. He definitely gets his terpenes from somebody different from the other vendors, though.
It's an interesting misconception that they just assume that you can't avoid the decarb process in a way that will keep it federally, compliant with the hemp bill, which we just have seen isn't true. There's corners, of course, but it's that's
Yep.
one thing I think is kind of a something that isn't talked about a lot that I think would be interesting to see how it changes when, probably now inevitably when things become federally legal at some point, is the concentrate space. Once there's, you don't have to worry about trying to fit under 0.3 in your cart or however that might look. That'd be a different day. And I also wonder, you guys think that, let's say it goes federally legal in the next, like before the election, let's say. I wonder what that's going to do to price overall. Because it doesn't automatically take states like Kansas and make it where you can go buy weed there. You legally can transfer through Kansas with cannabis at that point. But for states where, you can get THCA, maybe something like Texas or Kansas, it's like I wonder what it's going to do to price both cannabis and hemp.
Yeah. I think we got an interesting thing coming up. So, unlike when alcohol became a thing and every state had its own whiskey, tequila, vodka, every state has its own distillery, brewery, vinery. It has it all, right? Your town probably has one of each in many states, right? There's always been the local. So, weed is interesting because it's getting legalized 2024 or 2025. One of these 2 years, it'll be federally illegal. as now all the senators are trying to be the person who's I did it. I did. They're all jumping up,
Yeah.
aka Chuck Schumer. Jumping up. Hey guys, we gotta we rescheduled it, but that's wrong. We got to make it federally. What that does, biggest point you brought up was over state lines. Right now, your marijuana dispensary program, cannabis is grown in state. The farm sells it to an in-state distributor who sells it to the different dispensaries. Those different dispensaries sell it to the residents of your state. It's all in-state, all local economy, plus the giant tax on top that brings the money elsewhere. When we get something federally legalized, then all of a sudden all of those OG California vendors, all of these Oklahoma vendors that have been pocketing so much money over the last 2 years because their programs run rampant if you ran your storefront right. The flower growers in Maine, bro. So I don't know what goes on in North Dakota before I make this example, right? Maybe North Dakota got that gas, but I never heard of weed from North Dakota, bro. I've never wanted to travel to North Dakota to take some North Dakota dabs. Maine, on the other hand, bro, I will, if it wasn't such a long drive, I would rather go buy all of my bud up in Maine than in Connecticut. We can't match the grower's expertise. We can't match the soil and how it is specifically made for the strains. Cannabis, we want to say it's made to grow everywhere, right? It's not. Different strains are made to grow in certain areas better. There is a reason why some of that flower you get from California, you're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. This is why people hype up Cali weed. Because some strains grow good by that ocean with that salty air. But then why are we all so impressed all of a sudden now that the tobacco fields in North Carolina are growing some dope-ass flower? Well, first of all, those tobacco fields, that's some nutrient-rich soil from all of these years of mastering a different herb, crop, whatever you want to call that one. But the people there, they have the right conditions for certain strains. All them dessert strains are tasting great out of North Carolina. Try to grow some like gas face OG in North Carolina, though, and it don't taste right.
You don't hit the same.
It
For
do
real,
not
for
taste
real.
right.
Really don't. Gassy strains are a myth when it comes from like I've barely
You're from
noticed that
Florida,
from North
bro.
Carolina. Gas
Down
strains
in
don't hit the same, bro. Like it's very like for it to be a gas strain that's gonna hit right, it gotta be crossed with some sweet shit.
Yeah, the sweet stuff's hitting really good from the tobacco fields. Virginia bud too. The stuff I've had from Virginia very similar to North Carolina.
Yep.
But
I was finna say it's low key, it's different. I mean, being able to grow everywhere and being able to thrive everywhere is two different things.
100%.
I was gonna say that is so true. And it's funny, like you wouldn't think you live in the middle of like Conifer, Colorado, where it's at best 40 degrees and snows all the time. You're not gonna grow some palm trees out front of your house. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. And if you somehow manage to grow a palm tree, it's not gonna thrive in the same way it would in Pasadena or in Hawaii or in Phoenix. And it's true. It's kind of a unspoken point that like when it's inevitably federally legal, then you're going to be able to, much how we do with certain foods now, like, oh no, I want this type of food that, Parmesan cheese, all Parmesan cheese on the earth comes from one place. If we didn't have the ability to transfer Parmesan cheese to other countries or cities or states, we would not get to know and enjoy that. We'd have to try to make our own version of that, and it wouldn't be the same thing. And we're seeing that with cannabis right now. So once those markets were freed up to where, I can buy Cali bud from Cali, grown that, or I can buy a really good diesel that's crossed with something sweet that is actually that strain, be able to do it probably in the next year or two. And it is fun, like you said, Jerry. People like Chuck Schumer, it's the politician's national anthem, man. That like, ooh, we think we figured out our way to get our money in, and all of a sudden now, well, what are we doing? We need to make it legal. It's like, well, where were you 10 years ago? Where were you before we had these examples in the state market of what worked? Where, but now that like,
100%.
they're,
And it hurts because like All of y'all been in office.
Yes. Could have done
Both
this for
sides,
years.
every single
And
one of you. We can go down the list. All of y'all been in office, and I did not hear you say anything like this 10 years ago. None of y'all had any problem with the people going into jail over a plant. None of y'all had any problem with the unjust legislation nationwide. The fact that states were able to double down and make things worse than other states. You're in Texas still, right? You're in Texas still.
Yes,
How
absolutely.
many additional
Absolutely, man.
weed laws does a state need for their police to be able to act?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and it's funny. It's like, without getting too political, you see, like we talked about, as the election gets closer, all of a sudden it's talked about way more in the public space. And I think it's very interesting how
But this time something
the
happened.
left, yeah, exactly, and the left generally is more pro federal legalization than the right, which is generally not. What I think is it's an interesting poker move of like, I don't know how much the left is confident they can win the White House again, given the last 4 years. I think the right thinks they have a good chance of winning. I think this may be the left's attempt of, hey, look at what radical change we were able to accomplish in this country under the current administration and current party as a last-ditch effort to secure the White House the next 4 years.
For sure.
So it'll be interesting to see, like, if they. That's why I think it might get legalized before the election, and they're gonna run with that of look what we or it's almost legalized. We got to keep this party in so that we can
do it.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So that'll be interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how the right will respond. Are they going to try to go just run with the full opposite take of no, it shouldn't be, or are they going to try to do well, we can't beat them, so join them? But then
I mean,
they're too prideful to just
10 years ago. I mean, and for those of us that grew up with conservative parents, like I'm pretty sure there was the thought process for a long time. Many of them had the thought that if society started smoking weed, society would be as lazy as, I don't know, the dude smoking the Reggie in the back of the school back in their high school years.
Yep. And they got that way from their parents who directly saw Reefer Madness and thought you'd go crazy because of this new drug called marijuana. It's just crazy.
That's literally it can be something to help you get more work done with responsible use and education and people having the proper dosages, and all people are getting their ass into work, first of all. Second of all, getting through the day. Third of all, I mean, bro, customer service workers have been doing this forever. It ain't new. Now they can just be open about it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and it's you're starting to see that, like, it's kind of funny. It's in one way insanely validating because the cannabis community for years has been gaslit by the mainstream public to think that what we use is not what we believe it to be. And like you said, you see that from Madness is when it really started because of the threat it had on the printing press, because of the decorticator. Then it goes from that to our parents' generation that was just raised. They were very much seen and not heard, and raised to think it's absolutely horrible. Yeah, Brett, my dog is he's just doing circles back there. And then it's now like we're starting to see this change. Like, no, there's public figures that have used cannabis publicly for a long time that are very successful. You see it in your daily life personally, and it's I'm interested to see.
Isn't it funny when you're talking to some successful people in your life, just the aspect that you bring weed gets brought up, and like, I remember when I used to smoke. I stopped smoking when XYZ. Isn't I stopped smoking because it would help me with it's. Stopped smoking when I got this new job and there was the drug test. Never just picked it back up. Stopped smoking when the kid came because I didn't want to smoke in that. There's always some offline excuse. But because they no longer engage, they're not vocal telling these other people next to them that, like, hey, no, actually I smoked and never hurt my productivity. Or, hey, I smoked and only the way I smoked was what hurt my product. Right. I don't know. I work in finance. And I talk to a lot of people of varying different financial states, and in the ultra elite, there's two things you see: is the random dispensary purchases that you probably wouldn't expect somebody to have on their card statements, and then secondarily, the way that they speak about it. Slowly, it's not like, wow, that stuff makes me unable to get work done, makes me fall asleep, etc.
No.
And maybe that's what brickweed did for a lot of it, right? Because when we think about it, a lot of it was single strains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So single types of effects.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of it is, it's a people issue too, right? You're gonna have with anything people that use it. You're gonna have people that don't have drive and ambition, and this is a catalyst to bring that out in them. And then there's others that use this as a means for propulsion forward and change and growth and discipline and or whatever,
I was about to say that it's really like honestly, and it depends on exactly how you feel the moment before you blaze, not when you blaze in, not after. Is how you feel before, because before affects everything that comes after. If you
Absolutely.
feeling down in the gump, you know what I'm saying, you feeling lazy as fuck, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna make you feel way more lazy. If you feeling chill, you know what I'm saying, like, if you feeling chill, it's gonna help.
Yes.
It might help you, it might pick you
Yep.
up, it might pick
Yep.
you up, or it might put you back
Absolutely.
down. But if you
Yep.
already lit, you in the motion of going, it's not going to
Yep.
stop you, bro. You're going to keep
Nope.
going.
You also got to set a
Yep.
baseline for the day. There's receptors that are
Yes.
absorbing a chemical. This ain't like drugs.
No.
That's the ironic part. Like the body absorbs cannabis in a very specific way, not like drugs. So because it's receptor based and CB1, CB2 receptors taking in THC or other cannabinoids, if you're using other cannabinoids, if you use it first thing in the morning before you set the baseline of no cannabinoids are binded to my receptors, it's going to give you drastically different effects if you continue to use it through the day. Some people would say it doesn't get me as high. It doesn't. Well, that's part of the medicated part. Is you're keeping a higher baseline of cannabinoids attached to those receptors through the day.
Yep.
It typically does at that point, though. Also, if you're somebody who has problems with ambition, if you're not stacking some other supplements to help fight the laziness aspect to it, if you smoke all day long, especially if you smoke within the first hour of waking up, the statistics that are currently out there show that you're probably going to not be as productive during the day. But that's not an everybody thing, right? Because
I think a big issue, people will, the easiest way to build a tolerance super fast and to not have cannabis affect you positively is to use it as a cure for boredom. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got from an old stoner buddy of mine back years ago was don't use it as a cure for boredom.
Nah,
And
for
it's
sure.
true.
That
It's
is going all day.
and then you just find out you're just smoking more, and then you're tired and bored, so you smoke more. And I used to do that when I first started smoking, and then I had to. The way I got out of it was you use it as a reward system instead of boredom. Like, no, I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z done, then I'll smoke a bowl. And you find out that was for me how I kind of got out of that system. But yeah, it's like don't use it as a cure for boredom, and I think there's a fine line. Like I think it's because it still comes. I look at it as it still comes down to you as a person. Like there are people that can like someone that struggles with depression. They'll smoke a bowl when they're depressed, and it gives their brain the ability to stop that thought and change, which otherwise their brain doesn't have the strength to do on its own. But that is still you making the choice. Cannabis may have made it easier for your brain to make that choice. It's still you making the choice to do something different. And I think, like to Ganja Bear, to your point, when you're in a session and you're angry and you're about to blaze up, and you choose to continue to stay pissed, and that helps you think about more things you're pissed about. That's when it can be to your detriment. And you see people that do that. They're pissed off and they don't even take 5 seconds to be like, I'm gonna be good. This is gonna feel great. I'm gonna relax. Just even a little, and it's not some hippie woo woo thing. It's like just set a little intention, and it does make a difference. It really does.
It don't matter. You mad, sad.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yes, absolutely. But
Whatever.
it's the same thing. It's like if you're sitting there and you're feeling super sad and you want to feel happy, and then you put on a really sad song. It's like, what are you doing? You ain't helping yourself.
Nah, for sure. You just put yourself deeper in the loop because you thinking about more
Mhm.
sad shit now. You feeling the
Exactly.
vibes of sadness now.
Exactly. Exactly. And
like-
some people self-sabotage and do that with cannabis, you know?
I mean, I think a lot of people self-sabotaging, sadly, are those with ADHD. I mean, they say that it's 80% of adult smokers have ADHD or something, at least on the male side. I can't remember the actual statistic, but it's some insane statistic. Regardless,
Wow.
it breaks it down to, like, that's how I use it. If I was to address it on a medicinal outlet, I can't wait to the day where we're starting to say, how can cannabis help with ADHD? Because, God, I could give them a long-ass speech. But me setting my baseline, as I was saying, that hey, I'm going to at least have this amount of cannabinoids in my system first thing in the morning. What I have found is it silences about half of the thoughts going on in the head, and that can be super powerful with ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
However, I go over my limit, and I'm silencing all of the thoughts to the point where I'm taking a nap. My brain needs some sort
Great way to
of
put it.
continuous stimulation going on, or
Yeah.
I stop doing things. It's like the taking your shoes off and sitting down
Yeah.
analogy.
It's like you want to quiet the brain. You don't want to put it on mute. You know? If you still want to think, just think
Yep.
less and think the right things. No, that's very true.
For sure. And I
And
got
that's
into
the-
this weird state recently where I could have got myself into self-sabotage because I started saying I was using the cannabis for two reasons. I got really into the whole pain relief aspect of it, and that does two things. The strains and terpenes that give a lot of pain relief happen to be the sedative ones, first of all. More so, a lot of them. Then secondarily, for me to get the pain relief I was looking for, it was a little bit higher of a dose than I would be using for my brain. And I was getting to this weird catch-22 where I was like, it's one or the other here.
Oh, wow.
So I decided to scale back the dose I was taking again and stretch a little longer in the morning. It's not a cure-all.
Yeah.
Nah,
Sure.
honestly, well,
That's
I
smart,
got a bad problem smoking when I'm pissed off.
Mm.
I got a bad ass problem with doing that, cause then that's something now, bro. That's something else that get you just blowing the blow. Because if you pissed
Yes.
off, you gonna stay like as you said, you gonna stay pissed
Yep.
off. So what you gonna do? Keep
Yep.
smoking.
Well, and then if you always use it as a go-to to help you come down from anger, over time your own ability to calm yourself down, it's like a muscle and it gets super weak. And then you realize if I'm not high, the littlest shit pisses me off.
Yeah,
For sure. You know, I get it. I used to be that way too, and I still struggle with that sometimes. It's hard because like human beings are so good at self-rationalizing our own behavior, right? And there's times when I know I'm pissed, and like I know that if I just took 10 minutes to like talk myself down and take some space, I wouldn't need to smoke. But I'm like, I'm so fucking smokable, and I have that. You're like, oh fuck, I shouldn't do that, but here I am, loading a bowl, smoking it when I'm pissed, you
you'll
know.
convince
So
yourself you don't have the 10 minutes. Even though
Yeah,
it takes
exactly,
you 7 minutes to
exactly.
convince yourself you don't have the 10 minutes to load the bowl, and then you're sparking it minute
Absolutely.
8, and you're like, huh.
Absolutely. Well, and something I've been marinating on. This is just a personal adventure of mine as a Christian. I have been marinating on how when I say that I'm tired and I just need 5 minutes to myself, I just need 10 minutes, I just need a break. I'm basically telling God he's super weak and he couldn't give me that strength. No, this plant is more powerful than you. I can't call on you to help me be strong right now when I feel like I just need a minute. No, I have to go use this. Not that that isn't helpful as a tool to calm down, but for myself personally, I was like, if that's always my go-to when I'm tired and need a minute and not just praying that God helps me be strong in this and like patient and maybe like work on myself there, I'm like, what am I doing? And it's the same thing. You can find that where it's you can rely on it in a healthy way, and then you can rely on it in a way where you use it instead of doing the self-work, you know, which can be anything.
True.
You know, again, that's the person, not the plant, you know,
True.
you know,
True.
like Oreos don't make you 400 pounds. Eating 80 packs of them a day for 2 years makes you 400 pounds, you know, same thing, right?
I mean, I do blame the Oreos on that one. I'm not sure the analogy carries over, bro. You know, I
Oh,
ate
yeah.
one, and all of a sudden the
I ate-
next
I ate
20
my-
showed up in my stomach. I'm not really sure what happened.
No, that's hilarious though. It's like, you know, you've been divorced 25 times. It's probably not that boys are crazy. You might be psycho. No, that's wild though. I mean, it's one of those things that again, it just comes down to how you choose to utilize it. But it's refreshing that so many people are starting to realize that
You can.
it's not what we used to think it was.
No.
Great.
Which is very good. I mean, it's such a versatile plant. We went from the conversation about how it can have a million effects, or we got to that conversation from the conversation of how it grows different in different areas. It's quite practically insane. I mean, some of the first hash when we're thinking about it was because the strains in Afghanistan's mountains were just so sticky that playing with the buds with your hands or working with the plants produced hash upon your hands. Like,
That's something that I was thinking about. I forgot to say. The reason a lot of people probably felt so lazy off a tree before, and it could be. I mean, it's because it's because of people always, but tree didn't used to be as diverse as it is today. Everything is a hybrid now. Every
everything.
fucking thing. I don't care what you got, bro. I don't care if you got. I mean, unless you like smoking on some of the original. I mean, that's even the hybrid. Damn, they're like unless you got like original cut from a plant, like the grower. You know what I'm saying? Like not so, cat, whatever. Cause like you're not. It's a hybrid, and even those are hybrids. But you feel me? You're not in Afghanistan. You're not in Jamaica. You're not in. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting the OG. You're
Colombia.
not getting the
Yeah.
real deal. You feel me? But shit's been crossed so much back when it first came out. Shit wasn't getting crossed like that. It was getting crossed on accident, not intentionally. People didn't even know how to cross. They didn't know what that shit was. Like it was just, hey, growing it. If it grow, it grow. Let's go. Let's get it in a pack and let's get it out. And with that being said, it was probably like just a whole bunch of pure indicas just coming through.
Oh,
Pure
for
sativas,
sure,
whatever.
bro.
Yes.
The real
Absolutely.
indicas and then the pure sativas making people's brains rush and explaining the anxiety thought process.
Mhm.
And then people thought everyone was lazy because maybe you smoked on an indica that literally, if you did smoke the whole joint on one of them real pure indicas, you would want to probably lie down for a while. Like,
Yep.
And
Yep.
let's not forget all the mold and shit. And I honestly feel like if you smoking moldy flower or dirty flower in general, smoking flower that has been improperly cured, even flushed, that should add a body load to you.
when you smoking,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
this is like old BHO, butane hash oil. Wow. That stuff would make you feel so slumped. And then all of a sudden, these rosins started coming out. I was like, huh, but why don't I feel slumped? Like dabs are supposed to make me feel. There just wasn't a bunch of butane in it anymore. Yeah, not all sativas are anxiety, but some. What was it? Not Jack Air. There was another one. Some pretty pure sativa. Definitely can make your brain race.
Lemon skunk can be like
And
that.
how you handle that is.
You know
How
the best way.
handle the racing thoughts determines the
Oh, yeah.
result. My
I
thoughts have
got
always raced, so sativas have never been an issue for me.
Yeah, no cap. I got some advice though. Whenever I feel like my heart getting too racy or something like that, all I do is, bro, imagine a hamster running in your heart. How could you be mad? Like real life, how could you be mad if you, bro? Just imagine a hamster running on a wheel. I'll be like, okay, I'm cool now,
What?
for real, bro. If I feel like my heart racing a little bit too hard, I just imagine it's a hamster running in my heart. I'd be like,
At
maybe
least
not
he's getting
like
his
whatever.
workout in today. That's good. You know?
Next time you too faded, give it a try, bro. It might just work
It
for you.
might just work.
I don't know though. I'm not you. I
Damn.
can.
So,
That's funny.
damn, yeah, that's wild.
Just pretend there's a hamster in your heart. I like it. I like that.
How often do you do this?
Shit, I don't know. Whenever I spark up some pack a little too heavy.
So this is a common situation.
No, I
Ganjave's
ain't
in
gonna
the
say.
smoke circle. Everyone's kind of getting a little freaked out. He's like, guys, chill out. Your hamsters are just running really fast on the wheels.
Oh
Got some
God.
newbie that's fucking freaking out. It's like, bro, chill, take a deep breath, man. Your heart is just a hamster. Repeat after me. Your heart is a hamster. That's gonna have to be one of the joint effort shirts. It's gonna be right over the heart, and it's gonna be a fucking stone hamster just running his ass off.
What? For real? That'd be too raw.
I'm gonna make that after this. Some stone hamster running a wheel. That's
That is
hilarious.
dope. That is dope. Yo, let's spend a moment. Let's talk about things coming joint effort wise. So we scratched the old website idea. Written reviews for strains sounds kind of useless, guys. As cool as it would be to have those, companies cycle their rotation. I would rather get a good, genuine write up on each company, how they operate, what we're used to seeing from them, what their team is like, how consistent the product is overall, what do they offer, what are their plans for expansion, what do they see as issues in the community. Yeah, real deep write up on the actual brand. And then let y'all take over in that comment section on like a forum type setup almost, where y'all leave the reviews on the strains as they come in. Maybe we'll drop in that section with y'all and leave a quick write up on the strains, but pretty cool. But on the website, we was thinking, what about getting some sort of apparel going, an apparel line? I hate the term merch. I don't know why I hate saying merch. I guess I gotta get used
Nah,
to it
for
being
sure. I feel
online,
you.
bro. But like, I want it to be more than just some random merch line. I would rather this be like, something like a full brand, something you rock
Yes.
out in public, so people
Yes.
know what you
Yes.
mean, so that people start
Yes.
asking tough questions to you, and you can pass on the education you learn from the podcast or in
Yep.
the server, and be like, no, we gotta get we gotta get people educated out there, and it's gotta
Yes.
grow beyond this. It get us seen in real life
Right.
too, y'all. Get
Yep.
some more
Yep.
people up in here. Good
Yep.
stuff. We got a couple brands that we can run through it, but I'm thinking maybe weekly drops while we're starting out. Just starting with just the joint effort brand, weekly drops. In the first drop, I guess you can buy a hamster running in your heart.
Yes. We're gonna make that. It's gonna be hilarious.
Hey,
That's
this is gonna
gonna be
be
awesome.
great, man. It's gonna be great. But the website, we're gonna try to kind of rush that out. That's a very simple build, doing it like that, and let's just make joint effort something a little bit bigger, a whole lot quicker. I don't want to go into too many of the other big plans coming up too, but I also think we got to fix up the way that these companies are doing marketing, the way that these companies are operating from the PR perspective, because I'm not sure if any of y'all ever log in onto Instagram. It's a mess. It's a absolute mess. Makes me kind of want to delete that app, but I think we can just fix the community.
I think so too. I think that's a big push for us, is this community. I mean, ultimately, we're not reviewers. You, as the people that purchase these products all the time, are reviewers, right? Do you use these products? You know them best. And to have an avenue to speak freely on that, one, is super important. And two,
Oh yeah, you're heard.
shedding light on the good and the bad of the industry that some people just seem to not want to do. We'll be that voice. We'll be that community that's willing to talk truth.
And properly educated
Yes,
is a big thing. Like,
absolutely.
there's a company that's made a lot of people very angry recently. We don't have to go like dig too far into it, but they've made a lot of people very angry recently, and somebody wanted to like jump on the train, start throwing punches all around, right? Talking about their THCA flower. Here's the thing about their THCA flower is he took it, he put it into one of his pocket THC potency testers because he thought he was cool and he was going to prove that this was a legal hot flower. And dude, you put any THCA flower into your at-home THC testers, is not going to come to you with a THCA percentage and a THC percentage. It's going to come to you with a total THC percentage, which is the THCA usually multiplied by 0.86 depending on the sample, plus the delta 9 THC. That's the percentage you're seeing on you. So the guy was out there screaming about the company, saying this. And because this was the perception of why people were angry about the company, now 2 people went and bought from the company in the server. They were both disappointed by the products that they got. It's like, wait, but weren't people telling you about why the company was? He's like, no, but this was what they were telling me. I'm like, oh yeah, well no, that's not right. And I was like, yeah, that's why we still trust it. Education in the industry has got to become a big thing. Got to become a big thing.
Absolutely.
For sure. I would. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And making that, and second to that, giving y'all a community where you feel welcome. And again, shedding the light on the positive aspects of this plant and having an actually healthy space to chill and get educated. You know?
Yeah. Otherwise, you're out there just learning on your own. And I respect everybody for trying it. You're all just reading articles. You guys are watching videos. You're taking in the content you can get. There's people out there now who have cannabis degrees, and they hang out with us, enjoying effort. There's people now that have done the equivalent of probably 10 years of work in the industry, and they surprisingly hang out in the server. So there's good education, guys. Good, and it helps.
Absolutely.
Hey. Very exciting. What minute are we coming up on? 46. Cool. I'm going to start building a wheel, y'all.
There you go. Get ready for giveaway time.
I see something.
One of the best.
Conjurer, did you ever send out the Frank Rizzo King Palm thing?
Bro, I'm gonna be $1.50. I was supposed to send somebody some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk offline. We'll get it out to him if you haven't yet. ASAP.
If you know, bro, I know I was supposed to send out the what you call it, Liddy log, and I did that.
Yeah,
We're
there was
good.
the King Palms too. We're good though. No worries.
Yeah, no, I just saw a comment quickly scrolling through.
Damn. Shit, my bad, boy. What the fuck?
We'll make it right. No worries. What's the giveaway this week again? What is
We're
RTA
gonna do-
flowers?
Yeah. We're cycling back around. We're thinking about other companies we hadn't tried in a while, and I was placing a little order with RESCHEDULED, but I'm curious. What are people's favorite THCA vendors? I thought this was a pretty easy question, and we didn't get a whole lot of entries. So congrats to the people who did enter, because, you know, that just means your odds are up. Whoever wins is going to get 3/8 of THCA flower from RESCHEDULED. We'll be placing the order, and I'll send you the strain names and some shipping info. We're placing the order directly with RESCHEDULED, so you'll get the whole nice tracking number and everything. But we heard Earthy Select was one I have not bought from, who actually came in as somebody's favorite. I saw, what was it? CBD Hemp Direct was somebody's. That surprised me.
Hey, they've been coming through lately, bro.
Have they really been coming through that much? That's awesome, because I was...
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
expect
gonna show
to
you how
see
much
that.
they've been coming through.
Like, I can show you. Hemp Barn came up again, and I still haven't tried them, so it was nice to see that show up.
I've got something coming from Sugar Hemp Farms. Excited to try them.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sugar Hemp Farms got a guess.
I've heard good things, yeah, for sure.
Sugar Hemp Farms is, yeah, was not on the list, but all right. I took in everybody's entries. Somebody got a last minute entry in today. Shout out to them for doing it. If you Rush Hemp Farms is a hidden gem. Kingdom.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I thought about China,
There's a
but I
lot of
never.
people out there, huh? A lot of
Mm.
what? There's a million new vendors all of a sudden.
Russian old as
I,
hell.
I think we really got. I get it, bro. But like on top of all these ones, I've been trying to get to a million new ones.
Mhm.
Definitely is
I
some new ones.
I think these people
It's
right about needing a new tier
interesting.
list. I'm just gonna have to
Yeah.
get a
Oh yeah.
mass order out there and do quick like one hitter samples of them all. Make a tier list. Gonna
Yeah.
have to happen. But I got the weight
It's a
wheel.
lot. It's a lot of companies that I told myself that I wanted to try it, and I never got to it. That I need to really do it.
Yeah. For
Oh,
sure.
just showed
My
everybody my
older one.
desktop. Yeah. The wheel is
For
up.
sure.
Who gonna win? Who gonna win?
Who gonna
Who
win?
gonna win, man? I got a prediction, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna land on Jordan.
I think Sticky Icky.
Sticky Icky.
Oh,
Oh,
we
just
got
over Nikki.
Just
Nikolai.
Icky,
Icky.
Icky.
I love the clapping noise that it adds. It's perfect.
Definitely.
It does it for me. Sticky Icky
Right.
won this week. Congratulations, bro. That's awesome. So you'll be getting 3/8 from Aura today. Feel free to actually send me a DM on Discord if you want to choose the eighths. If you do it in the next hour, 2 hours or so, you can choose them. Otherwise, I will just kind of pick 3 that I think look pretty and send them your way. Now, did either of you have an idea for the giveaway this week? If not, I could double down. We can double down on this. Do another 2/8 from
Let's
Aura
double
today.
down. Why not?
Okay. Oh, we'll do 3/8 again. Why not? 3/8 from Arate again, guys. This week we didn't get a ton of. What should the question be? Should we go to? I'm very worried about. I know what question I want to make it, but I'd be worried about the write-ups and responses a little bit. We might get some funny stories that. What if we did like what was the worst experience you've had ordering flour, TJ?
Okay. I like that. Let's do that. Your worst experience purchasing flour online.
Online. Okay. Yeah, we'll
The
make
next
it
thing
online.
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask, what's the nastiest smoke experience you had? Like, who was the grossest person you smoked with? I just thought about that, and I want to hear some story. Like, what's some nasty ass shit? Honestly, I really can't think of nothing off the head, but something nasty as hell that it ain't even that nasty, and it's a common occurrence, but it's nasty to me. I really hate that shit. I hate when people eat and smoke, bro. That shit is so nasty. Like, wait, give it a fucking, give it
Well, if
10
you're
minutes.
smoking a
Stop.
joint or a blunt or something, I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Like I said,
Agreed.
I'm reasoning off of a water pipe. If the person is smart and you see them take the napkin wipe and they consider it before the rip, that you see them engage in the sip
Oh, now you
before
gotta
they
prepare. You know,
rip. They wash their
Yeah.
hands, maybe a little hand sanitizer.
No. You always got that one fuck that's like, hey, let me hit that shit.
Yes, bruh. No, wings
Like, keep
all,
it-
all up on the tip and just
Yeah, no.
eating the flaming hot Cheetos,
Yeah.
dirty
yeah.
dirty nails.
Yeah, like, give me your lighter. It's like,
Let me have that.
bro, go fuck yourself, homie, okay? Like, I don't think so. Nah,
I
it's
have
just no.
PTSD
Stoner etiquette
flaming up
101.
in my head right now. But yeah, to enter, guys, again, it's in the Discord. Discord should be in the description. Join the Discord. Go to the weekly giveaway section, and you should see this question posted in about an hour at tops. Looks like we'll figure out that pending giveaway. We'll be catching y'all again next week. I really can't wait.
Heck yeah.
As this podcast was going on, I got 2 alerts about news stories, and I haven't got news story alerts as frequently recently, so this should be exciting. What are these politicians doing next? Catch us next Sunday to find out. Until then, guys, down in the
Later, y'all.
Discord. Deuces.